see?
You're stepping into a spot that's pretty important, and surrounded by guys who, were starting. How is that transition going? How have you liked taking up in that position?
It's real good. It's a challenging role, but it's something I expected coming here. I knew last year it was a learning lesson being behind Pickett, but now coming together with all the returning starters from last year, it gets me a better feel and also them a better feel because for one, we're not new with each other. I played a little bit with them last year, so the chemistry is going to be a little bit better, I believe.
What's the biggest thing you learned from a guy like Pick, who at that time, he had more than 100 tackles last year? That was his 5th year of the program. He's been through a lot in college.
The deal with Pick was on the field. He's a physical person, but with me, he always told me it was always about my mental. Because being a safety, you're like the quarterback of the defense, so you really have to know everything and what everybody's doing. So mentality was the biggest thing he taught me.
What do you see as the defense's biggest thing that you guys need to improve on this year?
If anything, I would say being more comfortable with each other. From last year, nobody was really comfortable with each other because we all were new to the system and the coach were going around here. And then with the freshmen, some freshmen might need to step up. So I want to say getting comfortable with them and then just coming together as a team.
Have you seen signs of that happening?
Yes, we're only like day 9, but I feel like we're starting to come together more as the days go on.
How's the front 7 doing?
Pretty good. Big physical guys up there, and that's not really my position, so I'm gonna let them speak for themselves. But yeah.
Are they helping guys out with pressure and put pressure on the quarterback?
Oh yes, but as defensive backs, we don't really look for that. For us, it's always like our coverage gonna stop the play, so that's what we depend on is our coverage.
How much playing last year has helped you this year?
A lot because I got my feet wet, so yeah, I just want to say a lot.
What do you think was the biggest adjustment or kind of learning lesson that you had last year playing?
If anything, I want to say making calls. It's way different from high school. What I learned, it was really one side for me, but dealing with college, you got to get it around everybody on the field, linebackers, corners, and then even sometimes the linemen.
What's been Quentin's biggest advice to you?
Mentality, like you, because everything. We all know we got the physical game to play out here, so it's really just mentality and just staying focused.
What do you think is the biggest thing you bring to this position as a safety?
My vocal skills. Playing safety, you got to be real vocal and you got to be in tune with what's going on. So I want to say my vocal skills, and then my mindset also. I already knew coming in that mindset was going to be a big thing, but just my vocal skills and mindset, I feel like play a big role.
Are you making calls for the whole defense or just the secondary?
The whole defense. So the coaches give us the calls, and then I'm working with the linebackers and DBs.
So do you have to be like super loud out there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, especially away games. But sometimes during away games, the crowd's going crazy. We always have signals.
You ever have to practice your voice?
Yes and no, but once again, like dealing with the crowds, that's what the hand signals are for.
Okay.
Pass rush was a bit of an issue last year. What do you see from that this year, and how's that helping you with the secondary?
Well, they're looking on that, so they just know they should be more aggressive with that. But once again, that's not my position group, so can't really speak on that.
What do you think this defensive back? What's your guys' greatest strengths together as a group?
Just playing as one. You feel me? I want to say whenever you try to separate yourself from the group, that's when things kind of go left. So I want to say once we come together and really start playing as one, then defensive core will be great.
Did you grow a little bit since last year?
I feel like we got measured not too long ago, so and I didn't really pay attention to it, but I feel like it. I went up a bit in my weight though.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Yeah, you look bigger. Taller.
What are you now? What did you go from and to?
185 to like 192.
Okay.
Do you imagine what it's going to be like that first game where you get to be a starting safety? Do you feel like picture that in your head?
Yes, and then also no, because just how our coach Rose tells us to take one day at a time. So I don't ever try to look into the future. I just try to control the day I can.
In the moments that you're in your weak moments and you do imagine it, what does that look like? What does that feel like to you?
Just being prepared. If anything, because it's a big game, I know I'm gonna be excited. It's gonna be a rush. We're gonna be on TV, but going into the game is just always about being focused and taking one play at a time.
Do you have any motivation to beat Cincinnati the last year? Is that a drive for you guys?
My motivation going into the game is it's always gonna be my mother. So she always drives me, and then my teammates, they not out here for no reason, and I'm not out here for no reason. So getting to win every game is always big to me.
Can you talk a little bit more about your mom? What's that motivation?
She's been a single mom my whole life, watching over me and my brother, and just watching her work hard. I want to help pay her back for that.
In what ways do you feel like your mom kind of embodies strength that you can kind of display as well, kind of on her show?
Well, she lost her parents at a young age, so she had to move in with her grandparents and all her cousins, and none of them really was like, I want to say, they were a helping hand, but like they weren't nobody to look up to. And she went off on her own and did that by herself, and like seeing her do that and being independent is just big on me.
Hey, how are you?
How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing awesome.
What has this guy brought to the table joining you guys in the secondary?
The biggest thing, Blaylock brought is energy. As a young kid, coming up, actually filling the starting role, it brings a lot of energy and effort. Last year, he got a couple reps in, during the season. But I think now, during the off season, he has a better grasp of the defense. And like I said, he brings a lot of energy and a lot of, juice to the defense, which I think is a big addition this year.
He's making the calls. Was that something you've ever done, or is that something that his position has to do by nature?
Making calls isn't position specific. We just go back and forth. If I need to make a call to him or he needs to make a call to me, we have that ability to make calls. So the ability to play call in the back end is, it can be any position, free or strong.
What do you think is the greatest strength that these DBs have this year?
Our mindset. Yeah, coming off during the off season, we just had a passion and a different mindset going in. We were working twice, 3 times a day, just trying to get better, and we knew that we had the ability to be one of the top defensive back groups in the Pac-12 and in the nation. So that was our mindset going into that.
What's the thing you need to improve on most as a group and defensively as a whole?
The biggest thing we need to improve on is just, I would say, mental areas. We got a lot of kids coming back, and although we have a lot of returning starters, I would say, we got to cut down the mental errors. Our effort and our hustle is always going to be there, but locking in mentally, whether it's making the right calls or aligning properly, that would be the biggest thing this year.
You guys have kind of a chip on your shoulder after 3-9.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say?
Yeah,
Okay.
no doubt.
No doubt. More about that?
Yeah. So, it was fun playing. Whether or not it's fun playing football. Whether or not it's 3-9. We were disappointed in how we ended up last season, but coming in, that was just motivation to go better, to do better this year. So I think 3-9. It always sits in the back of our head, like we got to beat that record, or we got to do better this year, because we have a lot of people that are expecting big things this year, especially it's Chip Kelly's second year, Dorian's, hopefully however the quarterback situation works out, but everybody on the offense is locking down on their playbook. We got a lot of returning starters, so people are expecting a lot, and we have to hold up to that standard.
What do you see from the younger guys? Anybody stand out?
Yeah, I got a couple guys. Maybe not young, but Jalen Irwin for sure on the offensive side. His work ethic and his speed and what he brings to the offensive side was a big addition this year. On defense, I would say, like I said, Blaylock brings a lot of energy. If we get, I would say Jalen Shaw too. Even though he's not a younger guy, again he's getting a lot more reps, and it's been a big addition. And then the last player I would mention is Martell Irby and Keegan Jones, 2 running backs that have the ability, just like Josh Kelly, they get one cut, they're gone. So, we got a lot of, powerhouses on the offensive side and the defensive side. So.
When you talk about the mindset of this defense, how do you guys go about developing that and keeping that throughout the training camp and the preseason?
It's just one day at a time. It starts with practice, or it starts even before practice. As soon as we wake up, we got to know, look, we got to have a good practice. And it's all about, building off that mindset in the morning, and communicating to each other. If you're just sitting up there, before meetings, down on yourself, that energy fills throughout the whole team. So it's a matter of, and starting with me, as a leadership position, I got to help these guys get their mindset right going into the season. And in the games, that has to be the same thing. As we get closer to the season, I'm going to talk more to these guys and get them ready, get their mindset ready, because, everybody has aspirations to go to the NFL. And to do that, the mindset has to be right.
You feel like this could be your last college season?
I don't know. It really depends on, how I do this year. I'm striving to obviously get to the NFL, but, I just take it one step at a time.
When do you guys start working for Cincinnati, preparing?
I've started my early film study. It's always good to get ahead, but as a group, I would say, in the next 2 weeks.
how important is it to give them a little bit of payback on their own in their own house?
Oh yeah,
Get the season going.
that's it's mandatory. You know, we came out with high aspirations last year, but you know that didn't work out too well. So coming into this year, you know, we got a chip on our shoulder, and it should be good. You know, they're gonna have a field house. You know, Cincinnati, I heard their stadium's pretty loud, so it should be interesting. But no doubt we have to get back at them this year.
Did you know Blaylock from high school?
I did. Yeah, so we played together in the CIF Southern Section championship game my senior year. You know, that didn't end up so well, but you know he had a game-winning pick. So yeah, me and him got a little beef, but it's it's all good in the back end.
You guys have gotten a lot of modern day guys out here. Is that, Coach Rollinson went to SC. How are you guys turned the tide here in favor of UCLA?
You know, that's a good point. Coach Rollinson never really, he went to SC, but he was like, wherever you guys want to go. But no, it's awesome having a lot of modern day kids. We talk about high school games and different stuff that happened throughout high school, so it's fun. No, it's really fun.
Is Coach Rollinson going to retire soon?
Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. I'm going to try and go back to the game and get to talk to him, so that should be interesting. But as of right now.